Welcome to the Tarp Report with Sam and Jess.
We could just start. Like right now. We can start. We're starting. We're
Starting right now.
Let's start. I think that now.
I can't hear Jess in my
You can't?
headphones. No.
Oh.
And it's been awesome, but we should try to fix that.
It's ideal.
It makes me nervous that I can't.
Can I get a little more Jess? Can I get a little more Jess in my headphones?
No, I got her now.
Yeah.
Okay, now
there.
we're really...
I'm in there. Okay.
Okay.
We're starting. We're starting.
3. Hey.
Hello. We're starting.
Welcome to the podcast. I wish you guys could really hear the little podcast before the podcast.
The pre-podcast.
The pre-podcast.
The pre-potty.
Where we go through local comics in the scene like a Rolodex.
Yes.
And talk about what's wrong with them while avoiding our own flaws.
Well, I would never point out my own imperfections.
I'm using them to build me up, Isis.
Yes. I like when they fail,
yeah.
I succeed.
Mm-hmm. I judge myself
off of
by the people I'm standing on.
Right, for sure. Who I've kicked
the backs.
On the way down.
Yeah, for every great gig I have, one open micer has to die.
Right. One for every good gig, one and a comic loses their mic.
Yeah, what is it that the Q folks like the Andachrome or whatever?
What? I didn't ever watch Transformers.
No, this is real life. They say that there's like all these rich people that are like drinking children's blood because it has like, you know about this? It has
keeps you young, maybe.
It has this stuff. So like if you make somebody panic, they release like this stuff from their adrenal glands.
Oh,
and
man.
that stuff, if you drink it, it makes you young. That's what the Q folks believe.
I bet that's why I look so young. It's because I'm always anxious.
Yeah.
I'm always giving off that energy.
Yeah. But see, what I do is I don't drink that from children. What I do is that whenever somebody bombs at an open mic, I just kind of sniff them.
Yeah.
And I smell them.
And you get more power.
That's what is fueling my meteoric
100%
rise.
Absolutely. Yeah.
To the heights of Snohomish comedy.
I'm telling you, I am taking my 10 minutes across this state. Okay.
You are.
I am.
I see you out there grinding.
Oh God. And it's a mess. It is a mess.
It's not a mess. It's a mosaic.
It's beautiful. It's art.
Your sets are like splatter painting combined with realism.
Well, and
realists. I don't know anything about painting. This all fell apart.
I was like, mosaic. Is that when you make pots?
No, a mosaic. No, I don't know what really. I really don't know what it means. I just said it. You found me. I didn't.
Okay. It's a type of art. Okay.
I didn't expect a follow-up question. Being like, what does that mean?
Mosaic.
I think it's cruel when people ask me follow-up questions about things that I said.
Especially when there are big words involved.
Yeah. It's like, do you like the way I sound when I talk?
Right.
Or do you not?
Don't ask me to spell.
Do you really want to see under the hood? There's nothing.
It's not a lot going on.
It's 4 goats stapled together.
Yeah, with a trench coat.
Making this car run.
Yeah, barely.
And sometimes I forget to feed the goats.
And sometimes the goats get into the rhododendrons, and then they throw up.
Are goats not supposed to eat rhododendrons?
No.
They're poisonous?
Yeah, it's really
and then
bad
they throw up?
And then, I had to, at work, we have goats, and I had to take one to the vet because it got into the roadies and
the Montessori
threw up
school.
everywhere.
A Montessori school is like a regular school, except everybody's nice and there's goats.
Yes. Yeah.
That's all I know.
That's pretty much it. That's pretty much it. Yeah.
It's French. I call them freedom schools because I don't use French words ever since they left us hanging in Iraq in 2003. So you don't remember that, do you, Isis? I was barely alive. Yeah.
Of course, ISIS doesn't remember.
So we said that Iraq had weapons of mass destruction, and we started this big war. And France was like, no. And then we started calling French fries freedom fries for a while. And it was a 2003 was a vibe. and freedom fries and
Freedom fries.
what
yeah.
else happened? Like, wasn't there people they were getting like baguettes and like running them over with tanks and shit? It was
Running them over with tanks? I don't know. That sounds fun.
Yeah, and it was funny because France wasn't even like. I don't even think France was like, no, we don't want to do it. They were like, we should like wait, but in like a cool French accent. They were like,
Try and do it.
low wait,
Do it again.
low wait,
Low.
because that means slow down. Yeah,
Low.
oh, hey, me, all French.
You have to do the.
Yeah,
Yes. Wow, your accent.
Do you want some bread? Wait, no, that's not
That's-
French.
wow.
That's not.
Ooh, do
I'm
you want
not
some bread?
I can't do accents. I really
That's
can't.
really bad. No, that's really bad. Do it.
Thank
Try
you.
it again.
Hey,
Hey.
hey, welcome to
Oh, that's better.
Gay Paris.
There you go.
And then I'm like, I didn't want to go to Gay Paris.
Gay Paris.
Yeah, that's how they say Paris. They say Paris.
Betty.
Yeah, and it's always Gay Paris, but I think they mean gay like happy. But there's probably like a lot of gay stuff going on too.
Yeah.
I don't know why I furrowed my brow when I said that. There's
Yeah.
probably a lot of
Ooh.
gay
Some of
stuff.
that gay stuff. They do it behind closed doors.
Yeah. Speaking of gay stuff, been getting a lot of messages. Anyway,
Well, you're not. This is not mentioning it is not how you get less messages.
I'm not gonna talk about it. Do you know
You-
about this, Isis? Oh my God! See,
About how Sam says that he always says that he's not going to talk about things and then he talks about them.
no,
But go ahead.
no,
But go ahead. Don't talk about it.
no.
Tell her.
I just want
tell her everything.
to catch because she's probably like, "What the heck?"
Yeah. Okay. Go ahead.
That came out of nowhere. About 5 months ago, I put a video online about how when I was homeless, I let a guy blow me one time, and
Innocent enough.
yeah, and it's a joke about poverty, not about gay stuff.
Yeah. I mean, and I don't even understand how people get that twisted.
And in the
Like,
joke,
it's so
I
obvious.
say that I'm really straight,
Yeah.
but people don't believe me.
They don't get it.
And I get people talking to me, messaging me. Lots of people.
Yeah.
Lots of people.
And every time I message him, I'm like, you are bisexual.
I'm not, though. Yeah.
Just deal with it.
I'm actually like, I feel like I've never been straighter
Yeah.
because
you know.
because like this is really, if anybody would have like I mean I have a lot of options, a lot of fellas,
Yeah. On the table.
So
In
if I was gay, it would be a smorgasbord.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Of
Cock City, USA. And
Dang,
I would be
okay.
town hall.
braggadocious. What the
Okay?
hell?
Yeah.
Man, I don't have
There's
every
wieners
time we talk
everywhere.
about this, like it just makes me sad because I'm
Why?
like not a dick pic
You know
to be
what?
found in my emails.
You know what it
Not a
would,
one.
Dude, don't say that on a podcast.
Well-
You're about to get some. You know what I feel like? This is what I feel like. I get so many dick pics. I feel like a daisy, like the flower.
Yeah.
And I'm the yellow part in the middle. And then all the petals are penises coming in.
Wow.
That's what it feels like.
That just made me think of the sun,
They're
the sun from Teletubbies. but
Yeah,
with-
it's
yeah.
like the sun from Teletubbies, except,
Except
penis.
with yeah.
Except more penises, and
Wieners
we're already
as-
on that show.
Yeah.
And remember, that's another vibe that you don't remember, Isis, is everybody
The
got mad at one
Teletubbies.
of the Teletubbies
Oh yeah. They were like, ooh, the purple one's gay.
because they thought one of the Teletubbies was gay.
It was scandal. Scandal. Yeah. They were trying to get him and Barney to fight. It was weird.
Yeah. Or fuck.
Ooh.
That was dirty.
Yeah, I don't know. That's a funny image. I think you should put it on a t-shirt.
I'm looking. Let's see what we've gotten to on my list.
Oh,
Nothing.
nothing. Oh, okay. Well, F off because you made the list 20 seconds ago.
No, I didn't.
All right.
I had a list in my head.
Okay.
Isis, have my back. It looks like Isis is about to join Team Sam.
Yeah, no, I doubt it.
Yeah, no, I think that
Yeah,
I
but
think
like
you're realizing the way that she treats me.
you just want like you
She builds me up and
Mm-hmm.
she crashes me down.
I did not build you up.
Yeah, I was already. I kind
I
of
did
built
not.
myself
I would
up.
never. I wouldn't.
Yeah. Yeah, I would never do that.
Stop saying that.
Sorry. But yeah, heard you bombed last night.
I did.
Yeah. Tell me more. Tell me about the specifics. How did it feel?
It was pretty.
What did it smell like in the room while it was happening?
It to bomb to bomb on a Monday at a dance club in Portland. It was hard. It was really hard. I got a couple laughs. Like I didn't bomb. Like they didn't. They weren't mean to me or anything. But like like in your routine, you're like, okay, not that I wait a beat, but like there are things I'm like, that's the joke. You get a laugh. That's the joke. You get a laugh. And like when you don't get a laugh, it's like, well, what the hell? I didn't get a laugh. Okay, well, why didn't I get a laugh there? Well, what the hell? And then you start like and you're like, I'm like sitting there trying, like I'm doing my set.
Yeah.
But I'm also like looking around and I'm like, what am I missing?
Yeah.
What am I not getting? Like something in this room is off. And I think it's because I was introduced as a comic from Seattle, and I swear that like people in Portland
Instead
like
of DuPont.
will just
Or
whenever
Tacoma.
yeah.
How do
Tacoma.
you like? Do you want to? Is that what you want people to say? Is
Tacoma? Yeah, like I love Seattle, but I rep for Tacoma.
I would say DuPont.
No, I don't even like you don't. I don't
doesn't
you don't even
matter.
just it doesn't. Yeah, but like when you say Seattle though, Seattle has like a certain.
I know.
Yeah, there's a
Especially
certain
in
connotation
Portland,
that comes. Yeah, and people are like, oh, Seattle. And I came in looking. It was it was funny because the thing that I love about Portland is that you can, like, they are so weird, and you don't have to worry about anything. I was like, I don't have to worry about what I'm wearing. I don't have to worry about like anything, except this place was just. It was like I was a normie.
What was the name of the spot?
Goodfoot.
Oh, yeah.
Have you been there?
Yeah, I've done that show.
I thought it was a pizza place.
I've done that show a few times with Hewitt, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so it's like, so you know that room. That room is kind of.
Oh yeah.
Kind of
Yeah.
weird.
No, I've done it twice.
Yeah. And so, yeah, and he was wonderful, and like, it was just I was missing something,
Yeah.
and I couldn't figure out like when I did my shank joke. And it got nothing. And I was like, well, you guys have never.
Yeah.
I was like, I feel like you guys want to shank me
Yeah.
right now. Like, what the hell is going on?
That is brutal.
It was tough. I mean,
It's one thing to bomb, but to drive 2 hours and 15 minutes. Because I know it's about an hour and 55 minutes to get my house, and you live 20 minutes north of me.
And I leave from work.
Oh, so it's actually a little bit
further.
longer.
But
God, that's a long drive, and you come around to Columbia there, and then all of a sudden you're in Portland traffic, and you're like, ah. And then you get there, and then you're like watching a show, and then you go up there.
and then you fuck it up.
The things that don't, there's a, I haven't really bombed. I'm not trying to be, this isn't me, like a reflection of them, but I haven't like,
Of course you haven't.
I don't really bomb that much. Like but there are definite moments on stage that are not fun. Where like I'm not bombing, but I'm like, this is stupid and I hate it.
Yeah.
And sometimes I'll tell a joke and I'll just be like, that did not get the reaction that I thought it would.
Yeah.
And so like I have that routinely.
Right. Yeah. That's what I mean. Yeah. Like just like being like, okay. Well, like, and I have a joke about hiking. And I'm like, okay, I understand. I know why that one didn't work because these are all hikers. And so and so I just have to, I think it's time, but, just being able to be able to have more material to shift further and, stretch more.
Yeah.
I think. Cause last night I couldn't, I'm like, I don't know what, like I thought it was gonna be a breeze.
Yeah.
Like I thought it was gonna be an easy. Yeah, I thought it was
go.
I was like, I'm only doing 10 minutes.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm in Portland. I can relax.
Yeah.
Like, and then Yeah, it was not. It was
I've
not a break.
had some bad experiences in Portland.
Yeah.
You know, I've done more just about the same amount of comedy in Portland as I have in Seattle.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because I burnt some bridges up in Seattle real quick out the gate. And then I
Should run. Well, I did Crush Bar on Saturday in Portland.
Yeah,
And did great.
it was great.
It was wonderful. So I was like, I was riding that high.
Like, oh, Portland.
Yeah, Portland loves me.
They get me.
Yeah, I feel like I have every time I go to Portland, it's so great. And then yeah, it should be illegal to drive that far and bomb that hard.
Do you see the expectations of how you thought you would do?
Yeah.
Like, how do you think that affects you when you're getting ready to go on stage if you have those expectations already?
Of the crowd or of
yeah,
myself?
Of like you thinking like that, like what it's gonna be like.
It almost reinforces my anxiety because I was relaxed.
Yeah, right.
And I was like, I'm fine. This is too easy.
Oh my God.
And had I been anxious and stressed out.
So essentially you're like, I got to stay fucked up because that's working out.
If I was, there's a part of my anxiety that drives this entire thing.
Oh my God. You're making me really anxious right now.
Yeah.
I'm really into it. I'm not saying not to talk about it. Yeah. Let's not talk about bombing or booking or... We had a moment on the podcast where Jess was like talking about booking stuff, and I'm like worried about. He was like, "Oh my God!" Even talking about it right now, I'm like,
He didn't want me to talk about it.
Yeah, but talking about bombing is something that I'm really into.
Yeah,
because it's foreign to me.
Yeah, because it's just But for me, I'm an old hat. There are lessons, and I'm like, like I said, like I'm looking at the audience and I'm like, what did I miss? I missed something with all of these people in this room and I don't know what it is. And so now I have to figure that out.
I think comics are dough that is going to possibly be made into bread.
Yeah.
And you are needed. You might be folded. Occasionally you're beaten and occasionally you're put in an oven.
Yeah.
Like that to make something come out the other end that is capable of not just performing at a high level, but also dealing with the inherent stress of this industry.
Right.
I still routinely do comedy in places where comedy should not be.
Right.
Whether it's Reno with that crazy shit and, or, I mean, I could talk about it. Like I had a horrible show Friday in Snohomish outside and just people spread out, a lot of people, but spread out like shows. All over.
Yeah. You say it was
I managed to get some people. I got some laughs. Yeah. It was the Snohomish Block Party. It was a wonderful festival. They treated me really well. They had shrimp in the green room.
Ooh.
So, I mean, it wasn't all bad.
That sounds great.
And, I was out there, the comic before me, things went pretty sideways. They were not digging some of her stuff.
Yeah.
And I remember kind of sitting to the side of the stage and knowing I'm like, I need to do my time and get out of here.
Yeah.
Like that, this is going to be something to be endured, not something to be enjoyed. I did find a few moments of joy though. I did have some fun.
Yeah.
But it's strange because time, like it's like, oh, I do 45 minutes all the time, and time starts messing around. Like sometimes it feels like it's going faster, sometimes it feels like it's going slower, because the usual rhythm of my set is interrupted because I keep having to reframe and keep like getting people involved again, and yeah, it was uniquely terrible. And
was the sun out?
At the beginning, yeah, it was beautiful.
Yeah.
And I was watching, and there were people parachuting because we're in Snohomish, so they have like a big skydiving place. So I'm like, I was watching it, but I didn't want to point it out to people because the last thing I needed was the whole crowd to be looking in the sky,
I feel
watching
like that's
skydivers with
exactly
me.
what you wanted to.
I would have, yeah, I wanted to,
Yeah.
but I knew I shouldn't. And then this is the brutal thing. So like I'm working so hard and I'm proud of how I did because I did get laughs. I did get people were happy. Like they enjoyed it. There was of the 200 people there, at least 100 of them were laughing at all my jokes, but you just couldn't really hear it because you're outside.
Yeah.
And there's another 100 people that are drinking wine and giving each other high fives at these tables, and eating grilled cheese sandwiches because they had a grilled cheese sandwich food. But this is the thing. So it was an 80s themed party.
Oh.
And after me, there was a cover band called Nightwave.
Nice.
Right? And they do new wave stuff, right? So like, I'm like, hey man, you guys have been good. Da-da-da. The host does not come back on stage. It's just me walking off. And then the freaking the band had already set up. They already did their sound check. Their instruments were ready to go.
Yeah.
So like I put the mic back in. And from both wings, the members of Nightwave come onto the stage before I'm even off the stage. And I watched people in the crowd. They were like down with their heads down at a table and they're like, here we go.
Here comes Nightwave.
And then from out of literally 10 seconds after, and all of a sudden it goes, and all this, the smoke machine turns on. Lasers are going, right? Damn. And then all of a sudden, dum, and it's the first chord of White Wedding by Billy Idol.
Yeah.
Great song.
Coming in hot.
Right? And right when that chord, dum, Snohomish, how we doing? All these people that were completely disengaged, like the 100 people that were like liking my comedy, they were like kind of standing up and wanting, but then the 100 people who could not give a shit about my comedy rush the stage, and they are packed up in there, and they were just waiting. It's almost like they tried to do stand-up comedy at a music festival outside in Snohomish. That's what it seems like.
Yeah.
What happened? It seemed like they had stand-up comedy on 80s night. Joel McHale did it the year before I did. He was the headliner.
Those are good shoes to follow.
The new Joel McHale.
Yeah.
So.
Well, never heard of him.
Yeah. You know who Joel McHale is? Are you kidding me? You love that show. I love that show too. Kidding. I used to watch Talk Soup all the time.
I was going to say, yeah, I love Talk Soup.
I know. I did too. I thought it was fantastic. And then the day after that, though, I was in Redmond doing a cozy comedy gig. Just had an absolute blast.
Great time,
yeah.
Of course.
I'm going to give him his kudos. Do you know Tony Meyer out of Salem, Oregon?
I don't think so.
Okay. I've been doing comedy with this dude for like 7 years. He's always been like pretty good, He had a great set.
Nice.
Really solid. He's improved quite a lot since last time I worked with him.
Awesome.
Mark from Cozy Comedy had another great hosting set.
Awesome.
He's such a weird dude. I like him.
I know I need to book him.
He's so concrete. It cracks me up. Like, he's so by the book.
Yeah.
And I couldn't be further from it. He's always like coming to me. He's like, what would you like me to say before I go on stage? And I was like, tell him I'm a Sagittarius or something. He's like, and I'm like, no, Mark, don't tell him that.
He asked me, he was like, how do you want me to introduce you? And I'm like, it's fine. And he was like, when do you want your light? And I'm like, whatever. And he's like, is there anything else? And I was like, yeah, how are you? What are you doing? And he's like, what? I was like, how are you doing today? And he's like, I don't understand.
Yeah.
He's like, I don't get it. Yeah. Like, I'm just being nice.
And then I went back to Snohomish for a cancer benefit.
Yeah.
For Brian Trindler and Marcel from Laugh Tech.
Nice. Yeah, they're wonderful.
Yeah. And Marcel was there, and I talked to her. She's doing really good. And I think they raised a lot of money.
Yeah.
So the auction looked like it was going good. I brought the boys with me, which was cool.
Nice.
So yeah, I think it's going, and that was great. And I had a great set.
Yeah.
and it was fun, and it was fun to do it for like a good cause. I sold T-shirts I felt weird selling shirts because it's a benefit shows, but what I did is like basically like half of the money, half of the profit, I just gave right back to them. So then I got to make like a pretty good donation. So
I think that's smart.
yeah,
Win-win. Win-win. That's great.
yeah, it's been really good.
Yeah, I was in. I had a surprise gig on Friday in
you went to
Wenatchee.
Yeah.
At the Ohm Garden.
Not just a surprise gig, a surprise hosting gig.
Oh well,
a double surprise, Jess.
Oh goodness,
I know.
I was not ready. Like I need at least 3 days to prepare for a host set. But yeah, I couldn't figure out why Robert, Pity, not Piddle.
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't figure out why he was like, hey, are you almost here? And I'm like, yeah, I'm almost there. Like, and then he was like, hey, are you here yet? And like, it was like still 15, 20 minutes before the show started.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and I was like a last minute out. It was fine. But then I was sitting there and he was like, whenever you're ready. And I was like, oh, I'm ready whenever you are. And he's like, okay, well, if you just want to introduce me and I was like,
oh yeah.
Oh,
Didn't know.
I'm hosting. Okay.
For those of you who aren't, I feel like I have to interpret some of this. That hosting comedy shows is a different skill set than performing at comedy shows. There are people that are natural hosts that can do it fairly easily. I am proud to be one of those. I don't have an issue with hosting.
Mm-hmm.
Some comics, it's like oil and water. They just don't have the right energy for it. And Jess is kind of like in the middle somewhere. Like, I don't know if.
Yeah. Well, I can turn it on. Like, but it requires me to be a different kind of person on stage and like,
high confidence, high energy.
Yeah. Which is not what I normally do.
And it's not you don't have like it's not a shtick.
Yeah.
You really are anxious.
Right.
And your comedy comes across like it's very unique and you're very, that energy doesn't.
You can't do that when you're a host.
You're hosting. You have to be like, hey, what's up, guys?
Man. Yes. Like the.
Cool hat, dude. Hey, make sure.
Crazy.
Yeah. I actually take a lot of pride because I hosted for years.
Yeah.
At that show in Olympia that I ran, Comedy.
Well, it's not. It's the energy thing. It's also my short-term memory is shit.
Yeah.
It is absolute shit.
Yeah.
Like, so Robert told me, he was like #1 album on iTunes, #1 comedy album on iTunes. Robert Pity.
Mm-hmm.
Great. #1. I get up there. #1 comedy album on iTunes. Please welcome Robert Peddle.
Yeah.
Fuck.
I've heard people actually, you're not the first person, I feel bad. You're not the first person I know that has introduced him as
Got his name wrong. No, I know.
I like Robert Pity a lot. We work together a lot for.
He's very kind.
Yeah, we haven't worked together in a while.
He's really good. Yeah. And then I had to introduce
Tyler Bow.
And it's Tyler.
He's a killer.
Is it Tyler?
He's funny. Yeah. He's very, very consistent. He's very funny.
I like the way he talks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, he does a good job.
But then I was sitting, I had to introduce him, and then I'm sitting there, and I'm like, is it Taylor or Tyler? Is it Taylor? Taylor? Oh, fuck.
Oh,
I'm like
man.
sitting there, I'm like Googling, and I'm like, oh my God, like hoping he has like a way to pronounce. I'm like, oh, I suck as a host. As an impromptu host.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. Do you want to get better at it?
I mean, I'm fine when I know I'm hosting, I can do it.
Yeah.
But like the not knowing, I was like, oh shit.
Because it's a way. I mean, being a good host can lead to like all kinds of opportunities.
Yeah, I know that it's part of the gig. Like it's not like I did it. Like and I continue to do it, but I'm not good at it. Is what I'm saying.
Yeah,
like
you don't.
If you like, well, I don't want to say that. But yeah, like I forgot the headliner's name.
Yeah. I wonder
my
if,
anxiety like just causes me to get out there and fuck it up. Like I'm like, don't fuck it up, don't fuck it up, don't fuck it up, fuck it up.
do you think you have, that was a lot of swearing. There's Christians that listen to this. Do
And
you
God
have
bless them.
God bless them. Do you think do you think there's a ceiling there? Like you're going to hit a spot where like that's as good as you'll ever get at hosting? Or do you think you can push past that? You know what I'm saying?
No, of course it's a muscle just like any other. Like if I were hosting more, I would be a better host.
Because I do think that there is sometimes you can get, you know what I'm saying? Like I know comics, I don't want to mention any names, but I've been working with them for a long time. And like I watched them improve, and then at a certain point, like they stop improving. It's like, oh, this is what, you know. I think I might be getting to that point now where like I'm probably not gonna get
any better.
Yeah, like I feel like the things that I could master on stage, like I've kind of mastered, and now it's just like coming up with material now is my main thing. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, but that's getting better though. Like I feel like if you aren't writing and you just are only doing the material that you've, then that's coasting. But like, that's not getting better. But like if you're still like, yeah, of course you're not going to tweak your onstage presence because that's who you are.
Yeah.
Like, but yeah, you should. I don't think you're not going to stop writing.
I don't write.
Huh.
I can't really stop writing because I write on stage. I'm being
I don't write.
disingenuous.
Yeah.
I know it's crap. I'm not being genuine. I do write, and I'm learning all the time. What I'm hoping for, this is my goal, is to someday have somebody else like take some of this other stuff off my plate if I can get my money right.
Yeah.
So then I can focus more on things like writing.
Yeah.
Because that would be a joy to me, as opposed to kind of like psyching myself up in the morning to sit at my computer and do promotion and emails.
That's hard.
And stuff like that is hard. I want to talk about it. I went out to Orcas Island with Adam Tiller.
Yeah.
And had a dream gig, dream hang with Adam.
Love Adam.
Had like a pretty like decent turnout, like a good turnout. Fun crowd, really unique crowd that was laughing at weird shit that made me so happy. Like, but also not laughing at some regular stuff that people usually laugh at, and watching like Adam, who continues to improve, is a great comic already, and his progression's been awesome to see. Yeah. And he's one of those guys, me and you were talking on the phone yesterday about work and how hard we work, and he's one of those guys too that is busting his ass.
He's going.
Yeah, and so being with him, and then riding the ferry back with him, and having like, I'm not going to go into details, but having like a really heavy conversation with him about, recovery stuff and things like that. It was really awesome, and I want to work with him more, but it's the same situation I have with wanting to work with anybody. Is it for me, like my margins are slim, so it's hard to find like make the money work.
Well, and it's also, a show, like, putting a show together.
Yeah.
And like making that work. And
I think that our energies actually work pretty well together because like he is very
low, like he's just chill. And
well, I don't know. It's weird. I saw him like, I feel like I actually don't feel like he's not as low energy as people say he is. And by the way, when we say low energy, we're not saying like bad comedy. It's just he is.
No, like he's just very even keel. Like there are comics who are like wild and ridiculous, and he just talks like a normal person.
Yeah, but we had a wonderful time, and the guy out there cracking comedy, his name's David Yearley. Really treated us well, like picked us up from the ferry, took us into town.
Nice.
I hung out in the town, had some shrimp.
Shrimp.
I'm a big shrimp guy. I just am. I just think they're great. I mean, I don't.
So you ever hear that David Spade always he always calls them shrimps whenever he goes out, just because like he just wants people just to remember that he's white trash.
Yeah. Yeah, that checks out. I like that.
Yeah. His last special was actually really funny. I really liked it.
David Spade's special. Mm-hmm. He's a good comic.
Yeah, I thought it was funny.
I had a conversation with somebody the other day too about people ask me all the time like what kind of comedy I listen to. And you know the answer to this.
You don't.
I don't. I don't really take in a lot of stand-up because I'm worried. I already had it happen with Norm Macdonald. I got really into Norm Macdonald for a while.
You started becoming Norm Macdonald.
Yeah, and I started doing these mannerisms where like, you know.
Yeah, that's why I had to stop watching Love Island.
Yeah.
Because I started talking with like an English or like Australian accent.
Yeah.
Yeah, all the time.
Yeah. So I don't take in that much, but there are comics that this is what we were talking about is that I respect almost like I respect anybody who gets on stage. I do. I might not want anything to do with them, and I probably don't want to listen to them do comedy, you know. But well-known professional comedians are generally good at stand-up comedy.
Yeah.
This really is stand-up compared to a lot of things in the world is a meritocracy, like where if you do really well and you're really funny, that really helps you.
Yeah, it's definitely ideal.
Yeah, it really helps you, you know.
I like comedy specials. Like they're like I was just thinking like there are ones that like if I'm in a certain mood, or it's like almost like an album, like a music album to me, and I'll put it on and be like, oh my god, I need to listen to, I need to listen to George Carlin rant about something for an hour and a half.
I haven't listened to George Carlin, and I watched a couple things when I was like a kid.
Oh my god, I like 2 summers, like before I had Izzy, 16 years ago. I just listened to nothing but George Carlin. Like that was, I would be like at work and just always on.
Yeah. I worry that it makes people think that like I see myself as like an elitist or something.
That you don't.
That I'm like, I don't listen to stand-up. But I love stand-up comedy, and I love stand-up comics for the most part. You know, they're very interesting people. But
You don't consume it.
I can't. I just can't. I don't like it. I don't like.
That's fine. It's fine.
I don't want.
There's some really good stuff you're missing.
I know. I know. But I want to listen.
Like Dusty Slay.
I listened to some Dusty Slay with you. I thought it was really funny.
Yeah.
But like, I don't know. I just want to.
You want to listen to yourself.
Yeah, and I have.
You're like, put my album on.
I don't listen to myself do comedy either. You know that. I very rarely record my sets, and I should. It's stupid.
I record them, but watching them.
Do you have the recording from last night?
No. Well, actually, he did film it, and I think I'm gonna purchase it. I just am.
I do want to see that one. No.
Oh man. Like it's not I don't think it's as bad as like, I mean, not every, but even like literally, I'm not even kidding you. Like my opener.
Yeah.
Nothing.
You know what we should do? Actually, listen, if you're going to get the recording or whatever, like, I don't know if we can do it in time, but right now, let's listen to Jess. Here's a joke from Jess. And see if
Jess
you guys,
bombing.
I like how I routinely make other people work, but here is Jess with one of her jokes from last night. All right. Well, what did you guys think?
How embarrassing. How embarrassing.
You know what's going to be even funnier is if you don't get the tape from now.
It's not going.
Wait, we could interact it. We could reenact it right now. Not interact it.
Yeah. Okay.
So reenact it. Like tell a joke.
All right. My name is Jess, and I'm an alcoholic.
Check, please.
Literally, someone said, "Welcome." Portland. And I was like, Portland now. Yeah, and then it was downhill. Yeah. Downhill from there. So
the biggest laugh I got in Snohomish on Friday was watching this woman wolf down a grilled cheese.
Oh no.
And like, you know, when you're eating a grilled cheese and you take that bite and the cheese like hangs down right there, you know?
Wow.
And you have two options. You can let it kind of fall on the plate, or what you can do is you take the bite and then you tip your head back.
Yeah.
And just cheese it on down.
What did she do?
She cheesed it on down.
And you made sure to call that out in front of everyone.
I was like, listen.
I just saw what you did.
I was like, every day as I age and I live in this body and in this world, I find new things attractive about women.
Mm-hmm.
And watching that random woman.
Yeah.
Oh.
You're flustered. Yeah. Yeah.
I'm all worked up.
It's hard.
Watching her eat melted cheese like a ramen noodle. I can't believe, did that really make you gag? Just thinking about me being attracted to people makes you
that's
gag.
what I was like, ugh.
Just
like you were like thinking of you like being like worked up about
I don't know if I talked about it on the podcast, but me, Lynette, and Jess were talking about going on tour, and I went with a show with my wife and Lynette to a thing.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, it's gonna be fun being on the road with them because Lynette's like my sister, and me and Jess are in a loveless marriage. You don't think that's what it is?
A loveless marriage?
Yeah.
No, you're like my dad.
Oh God, that is so much worse than a loveless marriage.
Not in a fun, sexy way.
No. Why is that a thing? But I guess it is a thing.
It's so funny. Yeah, I look at you and Brittany as my parents.
Like a power thing. That's funny. I like that.
Yeah.
No, I don't know. How would you define our relationship?
Well, I thought we were best friends, but
Yeah.
I guess loveless marriage. But it wouldn't be, I mean.
You know what it is? Because it's not loveless. Like, I do love you. Like, I
Right.
think you're a wonderful person. I love being around
Right.
you. And I care deeply about your career and who you are. I don't know. It's
You
so
just don't
strange.
like me.
Because this podcast, like, I talk to you more than anybody else.
Yeah.
And I know people listen to us talking, so it's kind of different. But also at a certain point, like, I stop caring. And I'm like, yeah, we'll just put it out there.
Yeah.
You know, it's really strange.
Well, we talk here, and then and then we talk on the phone all the time.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We really do. Yeah. It's weird because it all started with you coming to Salem with me and being like nervous.
Yeah.
And then I remember me telling you that it didn't matter.
Right. That'd be fine.
But in a weird way, like, it does matter.
Yeah.
You know, it does matter. What do you think? Should we wrap stuff up?
That's all good.
Yeah.
Tonight I am competing.
Oh.
Right here.
Nate Jackson's funniest MFer.
Yep. And we'll see how it goes.
Yeah. I'm not judging tonight.
3 minutes. 3 minutes.
I'm not judging tonight. Did they know that I'm not judging tonight?
I don't know.
I don't think they ever knew
I will mention
I
it.
was or not judging. But
Okay.
I haven't been asked. And if they did ask, I would say no.
Yeah, that's weird.
Yeah.
There are a couple heavy hitters.
Who do you got? Who are you?
I know Timmy Booth.
Oh, Timmy's solid.
Who was in Portland with me last night.
Yeah.
Robert Cashmore is on there.
Super solid.
Amanda Lynn from Portland.
Strong.
Emma Shoemaker is on there.
Emma Shoemaker.
I'm trying to think of Seattle comic. Dusty Two Scarves is coming to
nice.
town.
I haven't seen Dusty in a while.
Yeah.
I tried to do a show with Dusty. I was trying to book Dusty on a thing, and it just didn't happen. Because I think Dusty's funny.
I do too.
Yeah, I think Dusty's really funny. I think Dusty has their priorities in order, though.
And
knows
unique.
Yeah. It's funny when you see comics, you're like, oh, she's funny. Like, why aren't they ruining their lives
with
for this?
boundary?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that was the other thing. Is like, but I did a lot of driving. Like this, Wenatchee, Portland,
You're toasted.
Portland. But it's just that this is an expensive hobby.
Yeah, right now.
It's, it costs money to do comedy usually.
You know, it's so weird because I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah.
And then someday it might change.
Hopefully.
It might change. Because I'm going to brag, fuck it. I think yesterday was my first day off. Mm-hmm. This is the only 2 days off in a row that I've had in 2 weeks, I think.
Yeah.
And I have had more fun, more good shows, and I've made more money in the last 2 weeks than I ever have before in stand-up comedy.
Hell yeah.
So,
that's awesome.
Yeah.
That's great. Yeah. And then that, that gives people hope. Mm-hmm. That
there is this industry, there is like an inherent cruelty of like stand-up comedy being like so fun to perform, but then on the flip side, the business being so tumultuous and unpredictable.
Well, and also having to drive back 2.5 hours after you just booked.
Yeah. We talked a little bit before the cameras went on because I've been thinking about this. Is it the same way with my addiction? Like the cruelest thing to me sometimes about alcoholism is not how bad it was at the end. It's how good it was at the beginning. Mm-hmm. Like when I first started getting high, like how good it felt. And stand-up comedy to me is like the same thing. The cruelest thing about stand-up comedy is how good and how easy it is sometimes. Right. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like, because it creates that contrast and you get comfortable and you're like,
and when you feel good,
rolling along. Mm-hmm. And then all of a sudden you're opening for Nightwave in Snohomish.
You get checked real quick.
Downstairs at the Good Foot,
It was awesome.
You're like, oh, they love my energy in Portland.
Yes, so good.
And then you show them.
Oh, God.
You show them your soul.
Mm-hmm. Like, it's us, you guys. And they're like, ooh, no.
No. And then they're like, I changed my mind.
Yeah.
On souls. I wasn't looking for a Jess soul.
Yeah. They're like, Jessica. Like, they're definitely like, Jessica, quit.
Yeah.
Go away. Yeah, it's fucking fun. It's a good time.
I'm leaving tomorrow
to
go down to California. The weekend after that, I am in Maine, New Hampshire and Maine.
The exact opposite of California.
Yeah. I'm excited. My friend Tiffany, I just got the text. She is coming with me.
She is coming.
We worked at the shelter together. She's somebody who's really important to me. I don't know if she listens to the podcast. I could care less, honestly.
Well, I wish... I do. I care. I care.
Oh, yeah. I want
and
people to listen to the podcast.
I wish that you would care more. I wish that you would fucking care more. Yes. Please. Tiffany, listen to the podcast.
What I meant. I meant that whether or not, and if you're listening to this, you probably are a listener.
Yeah.
But, yeah. I do love this podcast, and I have been trying to promote it more.
I'm just kidding. Yeah,
but all jokes contain a little bit of truth.
Right.
That's why when I say that you would be an awesome deal if we had to fly in a helicopter.
Yes.
Because we could pack a bunch of other stuff because you don't weigh anything.
Mm-hmm. And if I didn't want the helicopter to leave the ground,
I would be a good choice. Yeah. It wouldn't even be a helicopter. It's like a storage shed. They're like, we're just wasting gas. We can't get up.
Turn it off.
Yeah.
Turn it off.
Can't get up. Maybe if I could like try to blow down words to help. I don't know. I'm not an aeronautics guy.
No.
I like that I'm moving my head so aggressively. My headphones have moved off. Yeah. Have you noticed that Jess is quaint? She's small.
Quaint.
Yeah. Jess reminds me of ciabatta.
Ciabatta? Who is that?
Like that thin bread that makes me mad. There, I said it.
Do you feel better?
Yeah, this is fun.
That you got it off of your chest.
I don't think skinny women get made fun of enough.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to change.
You know, I didn't always used to be skinny.
Really?
No.
Oh.
No, at one point I was very large.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Especially alcohol. But like right now, like I'm a size like 4, 6, but I used to be like 20 plus. Like I was bigger.
Size 4?
Now.
That's not very many at all.
No.
Sad.
But size 20, that was pretty big.
Yeah. You know what size I am?
Probably 20 plus.
20 plus.
You know what the first time I got stretch marks was when I went to boot camp.
Oh, sick!
And I was eating so much. No, I was eating so much that like I got stretch marks. My thighs got stretch marks.
I've still been doing, man. My cardio, like I'm still
doing it.
Yeah, I can't believe it.
That's
like
awesome.
there's
You've been doing it for a while.
You know what's crazy is so I walk up this hill really fast, and I had to like the other day I was like, oh man, I'm lying to myself because it's getting pretty easy to just crush that hill.
Yeah.
And so I was like, all right, when I hit the light pole,
I'm gonna do it again.
No, I'm gonna run when I hit the light pole.
Yeah, even
so
better.
now I'm walking up half the hill and then running up half the hill.
So weird.
And it sucks all over again. Good. I'm like, wow, I found a way to make this suck.
That's good.
You know, and I listen to J. Cole and I go up this stupid hill and I'm like, J. Cole, give me strength. My comedy career is essentially a vehicle for me to one day
open for
talk to J. Cole. That's my goal.
Yeah.
So if anybody is listening to this, I should put that out online. I bet
they're not.
I bet we have. They're not. Definitely not Tiffany. If I know somebody who knows somebody.
Yeah, put it on.
I should ask Nate.
Yeah, Nate knows.
Nate,
do you know?
Do you know J. Cole's people?
Can you get us in
I
contact?
just want to tell him that I really like his songs.
Nate would say, cool.
Yeah. Yeah. That's exactly what he would say. It's more disappointing than him laughing at me or telling me to fuck off. It's him being like, oh, yeah.
Did you see? That was his comment on our video.
I know.
It was like,
I would expect nothing less. So,
I love your name.
He's a busy man.
Yes.
Busy man. So.
Yeah, I'm so glad that he did that, though. That was awesome. That we got a Nate interview.
Yeah, that was cool.
Out of it.
And today, I got to say, I think this was one of the funner episodes we've had in a while. And I really enjoyed it.
Sweet. Good. It's because we prepped.
Mm-hmm.
We did all that prep.
5 minutes before we went on.
We're doing so good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, it's awesome. Oh, yeah.
And I'm happy for you and all of your stork brothers and sisters at the wetland.
Thank you. Thank you. Speaking of stork, speaking of standing on one leg, Izzy passed her driver's test yesterday.
Yeah, go Izzy.
So, yeah, big day for,
it's funny
for my 16-year-old.
Named them after a pizza parlor, though.
I named her after Grey's Anatomy.
That's sick. That's even better.
Because I loved Izzy.
Yeah.
And then Abby, I named her after
Dear Abby.
NCIS.
Oh, really? That's sick. I love that.
Yeah.
Wait,
really
was she the one, that girl on NCIS named Abby? Is it the one who looks like was a witch on The Craft?
The
with
the
my
hair.
God, that woman.
Do you love her?
Yes.
Yeah. Abby Shuto.
Is that her name?
No, that's not her real name. That's her name in the show.
Oh, yeah. I have a type, and it's.
Was she skinny?
Bigger Gotham. She was not. Is she?
Yeah, she was. I mean, she's.
I liked
an actress.
Anyway, I need to. I will. Yeah. You don't want me to talk about it.
Anyway,
you don't want me to talk. You don't want me to talk about the bedroom and how I get down.
Ew, Brittany and him and Brittany were in here, and they were like, like don't.
That's so funny.
So gross.
Yeah, that's the thing about the cardio, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's good though. That is good. I mean, I feel bad for Brittany, but.
Oh my God! How dare you? That is the meanest thing you've ever said to me. She doesn't seem to mind. Anyway,
this is more for this is definitely the midnight edition. What is happening right now?
This is better. Okay.
Okay.
I'm going to make my arm go like this, and then it's going to be really cool. Let's both go like this. No, like this on the count of 3. And then go, that's it.
Okay.
1, 2, 3.
That's it.
Perfect.
You didn't even
Cut it.
say that's it.